Hail and welcome to the Samhain edition of the Magical Human Show. And I am joined, as usual, by my wonderful and esteemed colleague, June Tranmer. And we're here today to help you feel part of our crazy community.
Yes, and we need you as much as anything else right now because it's feeling like sometimes all the stuff that's flying around is happening to just us. And we can easily go, why is this happening to me? Why? I have a friend, you would not believe the stuff that's happening to her. It's just ridiculous in the absurd, but she's doing her best to rise above it and look at it from up here because I think that's the challenge. As Pan Gregory always says, take the eagle's perch and look down and look at it from up there. And, the whole thing, this too will pass, blah, de, blah, blah. Joy and sorrow equal measure. And from the Buddhist philosophy, it's all same. But it's not easy when you get slapped in the face with a wet fish from one side and then another one and then another. It's never just one or two. It's always like three, four, five, or whatever. And so we hear you. If that's happening to you, do not feel alone because it's happening to everybody, I think it seems to me. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
us.
It's really hard.
I'd say it's happening to us. Well, it's certainly happening to me, June. So I was, I don't go eagle's perch, I go above the swing of the pendulum because I
That's the one.
I see it like
That's the
that.
one.
But yes, I was managing to hold a state of grace, despite the turmoil being generated around me. And then it got to a point where I was no longer able to hold a state of grace and got down and dirty in Scorpio season with all of the shadows that had been illuminated by my, like, well, just by what's going on, really. And yes, as you say, the things that are going on around us with people that are in my circles, etc., it's not
Mm.
funny and
No, it's
it's
not.
hard.
But I find myself making jokes. I never used to be a jokey person. I was always a very serious kind of Scorpio type, like, no, this is serious business life. It's just like, come on, stop laughing. But actually I'm cracking jokes and I'm like, who is this person?
That's really
Just
interesting, June. What's your North Node?
yeah. Oh, I've forgotten again.
Probably something in
But
the
yeah, I, I I
north.
just got a picture of you hanging on to the pendulum chain, swing, hanging on for dear life, swinging from one end to the other. If I was an artist, I'd draw that. That's amazing.
As I
My
said,
North
if I just didn't
Node, yeah.
have so many, if it was just me in my life, I'd be fine, I think. But I say that, but it's not because I know people who have
You
that
don't
in their life
know.
and it's
You
not.
don't know. There's just me in this house, but there's still you still got all the connections of people, and you bring stuff home with you, much as you try not to. And I constantly do my figure of eight to clear
And
other
shower,
people's
June.
stuff. I mean,
Shower.
yesterday, I did 19 mini massages. And I don't just do the massages, right? They're 10 minutes each. They're nice and short, so I'm not within people's auras for too long, but I have to do the clearing afterwards to make sure that they leave with their stuff and I don't carry it home with me. But I was tired. I was definitely tired. North Node, yes, it's in Capricorn.
Oh, so you're staying serious. So I don't really know where the joke is coming from.
Yeah, it's probably a defense mechanism.
I,
Just
but it is important, I think. Well, we learn to see the, as you use the word absurdity. I mean, I went away to the Isle of Wight last week to go and see an old friend of mine. And the the collection of things that happened was so ridiculous and absurd to the point where one of the things that kept coming for me was I've got these rubber croc boots and they have four soles, one on each heel and one on each thing. They kept peeling off. And so, and I'd managed to get some glue off some network person in a car park who'd given me a tube of glue kindly for my wing mirror that also decided to fall, like come loose. And that was the glass on the
take
wing
it
mirror.
up.
I'd stuck that on, and then after that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm this is all going really well." And then everywhere I went around the Isle of Wight, a sole would start falling off. So I'd go for a walk, a sole would start falling off. I'd have to go to a cafe. I was with my son and glue the shoe back on with the wrong glue, go out, and the next one would fall off. I mean, it was just like that for the whole time we were in the Isle of Wight. We did, however, have weird situations like the glue becoming available. The weather was like so rainy, but it would sunshine every time we wanted to get out the car. So we had some beautiful moments in amongst all of the unnecessary kind of drama. Oh, and then did you see that the vicar cancelled me out of the parish magazine? So I'm sitting there trying to relax and
What?
get this email going from the parish magazine saying the vicar's decided we can no longer carry your advert and the parish magazine will be giving you a refund. And I was like, sorry, what? Where's this come from? This is
Okay.
really
Yeah.
weird. And wow, Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio, I mean Mercury and Scorpio, which is now in Libra, thankfully. But anyway, I was like, ooh. So, and I know the vicar because when I moved here, I was like, I went out of my way to meet the vicar and say, look, we're on the same team. We both believe in God. You know, it's like there's no competition or anything. I'm not an evil hoaxing witch. It's just, who I am. And I thought we got on well and we've seen each other at events and we always say hello to each other. So I sent him an email just saying, I find this really strange. This feels a bit prejudiced. What's going on? And he came back and said, oh, someone from the parish had complained about the advert and but we're giving you your money back. And I wrote back and he said, oh yeah, and the things you cover are not covered in the Bible. So I wrote back and I said, well, I find this really deeply disappointing because it's just one person and I'm also a parishioner in the parish. And I said, when I constructed the advert, I did it in consultation with the magazine to make sure the words I chose were acceptable because there's many different ways I can describe my service. And I said, and will you be applying these like rigorous rules to other people in the parish magazine, or is it just me? Because
Mm.
anyone that's not practicing Christian, should they be advertising in a parish magazine? And I was like, you're allowing people in from outside the area. I thought you were trying to be less secular. And he wouldn't carry my calendar either, which was created with one of his church wardens who'd suggested that we had some editorial, and he'd turned that down. I said, you turned that down as well. And I said, I find that strange because astrology is in the Bible. And I just said, I'm really disappointed. And he's just completely not bothered to respond to that. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to cause a fight with
You
him.
hit a nerve.
But I
I
also am
think you hit
like,
a nerve there.
it's
You,
21st century. It's like, what are you? Why would anyone, if your parishioner's got an issue, why don't you set up a meeting so we can kind of, address
yeah,
any concerns they have?
knee jerk cancel culture.
But from a vicar, and for to a witch.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, it's like the
yeah.
21st century. I mean, it's just like, what?
It's getting worse though, my dear. It's getting worse. I mean, if you look around, people are calling for all sorts of people to be canceled and ignored and blacklisted and whatever, whatever. Yeah, it's possible that this person listened to our little chats and didn't like what we were saying about current situations.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him a name starting with Z, but it's possible that
Mm.
they are in that camp because they are the ones who are trying to silence people. Make no
Yes.
mistake.
Yeah. It's just, and I
They're
always
panicking. They're
I feel
panicking.
like my world is quite insular because I see my clients.
Mm,
I don't live a particularly big world because I have to manage my
yeah.
energy because I'm so empathic. It's like I have to be protective, and other people aren't
Yep.
wise enough to keep theirs
Yep.
boundaried. But so I'm always surprised that it can still reach out and get me. I'm like, you are going to
Yeah.
go on into this.
Well,
You're going to feel it.
yeah. Yeah, we probably are. And I think it's kind of quietly going on without something so blatant and in your face. He's had the guts to talk to you directly, but now he's run away and he doesn't want to talk about it anymore because it's uncomfortable. We need to have uncomfortable conversations. We need to talk to people we disagree with. We need to talk to people who ostensibly we might not even like them. But I think we do need to grow up and get into the 21st century or the whatever level we're moving into, which includes we're all one. I mean, we can't do the us and them crap anymore. It just doesn't fly. I mean,
It's crazy. So
yeah,
we've called this
yeah.
Samhain. So this episode, because it is covering Samhain, which is the end of the witches' year and the end of the pagan year. And this is the opportunity. I'm running a big ceremony tomorrow to really connect with your ancestors. And I'm saying to people, connect with the ones that you missed, your departed loved ones, but also possibly the ones you might still be angry with, or
Yeah.
doing the ancestral clearing of. You're allowed to get in touch with them as well, because remember, everything is balance. So where there is light, there is dark. And bring all that up for this past year and just think about what you are prepared to release and what you're prepared to give back. And say to that ancestor, or, you did me wrong, but, you know, I give it back to you now. It's leaving, this energy is leaving my system. It's going back to you, back where it belongs, back into Earth for the mycelium network to take
Mm,
it away and transmute it into something good. So I'm going to be asking people to do that. So I'd ask you to do that. And then, because it's a celebration and because it's a celebration of the final year, it's like having a final think about what you have achieved over this year, what you've harvested spiritually, what you've harvested. You've had the other two harvests previously, but just bringing it all together, this final third harvest,
mm.
and celebrating that. And then after that celebration has got through, thinking about we're going into the shadow walk as of tomorrow for the next 6 weeks or until the winter solstice on the 20th or 21st.
20th of
What have
December.
I
Yeah.
said in my calendar? The 21st. When the sun goes into Capricorn, we have our winter solstice. So for this period of time, I ask you to ask for what support you need to make that shadow journey and to really listen to yourself. So it might not be shutting away, it might be more therapy, it might be more learning, it might be, shutting away. It can be many things, but just have this is your opportunity to put in place your plan for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I say six
Mhm.
to eight weeks because I can't bloody add up. But
It's rough guideline because
rough guideline.
time is slipping around the place anyway, so it'll just
Well, everything's moving so quickly. So think on
Mhm.
that. Now I'm going to give June, if that's okay with you, I'm just going to run through the astrology of what's going on at the moment to help you to gather the energy
Mm,
of what's available. So we've said Sun is still in the middle of Scorpio. And so, well, it's at the beginning stages of Scorpio, but mid-beginning, 9. So this is the gates to the underworld being well and truly opened, which is why we've got so much coming up and we're being pricked from all angles to find out where we're at in our journey of development.
yeah.
So this is transformation opportunity, shedding old skins, mysteries, buried truth coming to the surface, which is why I think it's really important to go back to those ancestors, the ones that some of this stuff came from, and have that dialogue, give it back, cleanse it. And it's also a reminder, Scorpio season, that death is never an ending, only a return to power through surrender. So if you think about the tarot card, the Tower, and then you think about the Sun card, the Phoenix, this is kind of, or death even. It's like death, my death card is like a rip in the space-time continuum. But and it's beautiful. But yes, it's this letting go in order to be reborn. It's this snake mentality. Moon is at 13 degrees of Pisces. So this is a deeply psychic Samhain. Emotional waters are running high, and indeed they're running in the sky down here. Is it raining with you, June?
It's sort of on and off. Yeah, it's one of those murky gray days where you feel like it is perpetually raining. I hung out washing yesterday. It wasn't raining. Didn't rain
Fine.
all day. It was still wet when I got home from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't get dry at all. It's all
Wow.
damp. We're
Damn.
full of damp up here.
We're in autumn, so it's basically the water is hanging around in the air because water is emotional consciousness, it's memory, and spirit can show up more in water. So as we go towards, well, we're in Samhain, we're in this time, it's like an opportunity, like spirit is very, very close. So is the emotion. So we're literally, it's all around us. It's like a message from the heavens. Get in touch,
Mm.
let it in, let it up, do your own deep sea diving. And there's lots of dream work going on, mediumship opportunities and communication with the unseen. Pisces moon dissolves the boundaries between the realms, so it allows us to connect with things that we can't always put into words. And sometimes when you're meditating or connecting with spirit, like and I'm saying telling you to do so, you won't necessarily have the words to be able to cover what happened in that experience. You'll just have the knowing, and that's good. Mercury's at the beginning of Sagittarius, so that does help us to shape our words around our spiritual experiences, and our connection with spirit. But Mercury is communication in all forms, so it doesn't necessarily mean words, it can just be in thoughts. Venus is like nearly all the way through Libra, she's at 23. So she's bringing a bit of softness to the intensity. And she's kind of her messages you can achieve this peace if we approach our past with compassion for the people that had these difficult things to get through and didn't achieve getting rid of them or solving them. There wasn't perhaps the energy as there is now or the understanding. Well, there certainly wasn't the understanding, was there? We're getting back into understanding all the different kind of realms and the connection and how spiritual we are. To do that, there was
Mm.
just one option in our culture and one option through a third party, depending on how good that third party was. Mars is ending his journey in Scorpio, but he's still there. So he's still saying, come on, find your courage, get in it, get to the depths of this shadow work. Jupiter in Cancer is all about the past, about family, ancestors. So this expansion of Jupiter, the spiritual planet, as I see it, connecting with the home, family, and ancestors is just totally relevant, isn't it? Just Saturn backwards in Pisces, so karmic lessons thick and fast, ensuring we've integrated what we've learned before we are allowed to move forward. So that's why a lot of this stuff is coming for us at this time because it's like that pricking. Have you learned it yet? Are you ready to go to the next level? It's like testing one, two, three,
Mm.
which is pretty shit. But if you think about it, anything that you were putting onto the open market, you would run through a series of tests before you felt confident and comfortable enough. So why shouldn't your spiritual and emotional body go through the same process?
That's a very good point.
Well, I
Mm.
think, yeah, yeah. Uranus is 0 degrees of Gemini, so this is the opportunity for messages of spirit to get through into us. Retrogrades are internal, so it's like messages for you, not the collective, messages for you about stuff. And I've seen all kinds of electric messages coming through to people recently, which has been lovely to watch, just out of the blue. And that's what Uranus is like. It's our highest possible
Mm.
connection. Neptune is backwards in Pisces also, but at the anaretic degree, and that is just lifting all the areas where we're denying the truth. So, and that's the truth also beneath spiritual glamour, which is rather relevant in terms of my own personal experience recently. Spiritual glamour, in case you're kind of thinking, oh, spiritual glamour, is that spirit wearing red lipstick and fox furs? No.
Sparkly. No,
What did you say?
sparkly.
Yeah, it's like glamorous. It's like, oh, cigarette cars and Mercedes Benz. No, it is
No.
when somebody puts on a kind of an image, an aura,
Mm.
a kind of a glamour is when somebody makes you see something that isn't actually there. So they project, and what's behind is actually quite dark, but people project this. And
Mm.
people do that with a lot in the spiritual world, don't they, June? A lot of spiritual glamoring goes on where people are like, oh, I'm so spiritual. And it's
Mm.
like,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, which is why I resist because I'm just like, no, I
Me too.
can't. I can't do that. I cannot do that.
No, well, we're all in the truth.
Mm,
And then Pluto is direct in Aquarius. So this is the rebirth of the collective power, new era. But as with everything, only if we're prepared to release. You can't get anywhere unless you let go because there's no space. So you have to create the
mm,
space by letting go. But if you can't let go of something, like it won't go yet, don't beat yourself up either because it just means you haven't got to
mm.
understanding what that's about. And that's fine.
Yeah.
There's just more layers of that onion to peel back and do it with compassion. Don't do it with a Virgo critical, I should be better than this. I've, years of experience. Why can't I let this go? I should be able to feel peace. That actually is a bit distorted and a
Mm.
distortion that has been fed when everyone's busy throwing things off cliffs in their minds and, walking towards the light as if it's all done and it's all like that. Layering. That's the other thing that's been going on for me. I've discovered someone that can release the trauma from the body, June. And she's using Bowen therapy, but she's Chinese.
Yeah.
So she's using all the Chinese wisdom. And so we can have conversations on multi levels. And I've only just started. I'm at stage one, but the body holds on to everything. And when it's released, this person smells people's toxins releasing. She can smell it leaving. And
Yep.
she said when it releases, which is true, I can attest to, you get really disturbed dreams. You are a bit more irritable than normal because it's come to the surface. It's like you've cut the chain that's keeping the stuff on the bottom of the sea and it's come up to the surface. You've opened that suitcase of body and it stinks. Sorry to give such
It
a
does.
graphic description, but that is it. You
A
folded
rotting
yourself in a
corpse.
suitcase and went, I'm not dealing with that right now. Zipped it up, put some weights on it, and sunk into the bottom of your lake. And it's like someone comes along and goes, you decide. And it comes up and it's rotten and it's gross and it's hideous and you don't want to look in there. But when you do, you notice the maggots are breaking things down, or the air can bring the maggots, they break it down and it turns into something beautiful because then the maggots
Yep.
turn into beautiful butterflies. Or, it's
Mm,
like
mm, mm,
very graphic, but Scorpio.
mm.
What can
Well,
I
there we
say?
are. There we are. I mean, this is it. We're in the mud. We're in the gunk. We have to face it. We have to, well, we don't have to. We can keep sinking it back down to the bottom if we want to. We can go, oh, I'm not looking at that again and still put it back down again. However many times we need to until we're really ready. But my daughter had a dragonfly trying to get in her house the other day.
Ooh,
That was really
love
exciting.
dragonflies. I've seen a few around recently, actually, in the good weather. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, the fairies are still with me.
Yeah, there are. Oh, they're so meaningful. And I photographed her the copy of the page from the medicine cards about dragonflies. So yeah, it's
I
interesting.
I
Yeah.
have a beautiful picture on my wall that somebody did of a dragonfly he's made it so it looks like a fairy. It's
Wow.
cool.
Well, they do though. They do though. But they come up through the slime and the gunk in the pond, and they melt down inside the chrysalis. I mean, this
Yes,
is
they turn
again what Pam
liquid,
Gregory talks about. We
putrefaction.
are all in the slime of the chrysalis right now, breaking down our old selves before we can emerge as our beautiful new being.
It's true. And we're just building our chrysalis at Sarwain, or we built it, I guess, since the second
Mm,
harvest. And so I'm asking people to build them tomorrow, but yes, building them
mm,
and then getting in and allow yourself to liquefy.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
Turning to water consciousness. Da,
Oh,
da,
can I
da.
just go back to something that occurred to me when you were
Yes.
talking? Because you probably got more to say, but just before
I
we move on,
don't. I don't. I'm
are you
ready for discussion.
okay? What I thought about was when it's raining, we're all going, oh God, it's raining. And oh God, it's so damp. My washing didn't get dry. But I brought it in and it's dry now. It's fine. It's okay. But I'm wondering how the water feels about us constantly complaining about it because it's a sentient being. It has got
Yeah.
that capacity and it's constantly feeling rejected. Everybody hates it.
It's true.
Wow.
That's true. And think about all the cultures that dance for the rain. They bless it.
Who welcome it in. places that are drier than here. They need it. They're desperate for it. They love it. They bless it. We still need to bless it because if we didn't have it, nothing would grow.
Well, yes, but this is this whole thing of these artificial lives we live where we expect to get to keep dry and expect to feel upside down if we get wet. And it's like, yeah, it's like dance in it. It's like welcome it, worship it. And know,
Mm,
I keep saying to people, know that it's carrying consciousness. Every single drop of rain that drops on you is carrying the memory of, what is it, 100,000 DVDs. So,
is it?
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's like the rain on you, and then it's permeating you because whatever goes in your skin is within your bloodstream within 20 seconds. So if it gets on you, it's going in. So you're getting this kind of being aware of that, the fact that you're getting stuff when you get
Mm,
wet from the atmosphere. So just, and also, but in the same process, you can release to the rain. So you can cry into
yes.
the rain. You can let it go because then you're contributing to the rain. So yeah, rain is very releasing, very gentle, isn't it? Very feminine,
Mm.
very tenacious.
Do you know what the Korean word for tears is?
Rain.
Eye water.
Oh wow. What? The say you say eye water
The
or
word is
same word?
water, like is eye, water, water from the eyes. Yeah,
Oh wow.
tears.
But it
Yeah.
is. It's our
Mm,
bodies, it's our we've got all the elements. We are all the elements.
mm,
Oh, so
yeah, I love it. They are so poetic, honestly, God. Going along with different cultures, which, I've always been fascinated by. I mean, a person of the world for forever since I was a child. I was talking last time about the Patagonian birds
yes.
cards that this colleague of mine has was presenting to us, and we did this workshop about it and stuff like that. And you said, "Why not British birds?" And I went afterwards. I went, "Yeah, somebody needs to do the British birds."
Yeah.
Hmm.
You.
Well, I could.
You.
Somebody could. I
You.
might. If I
Yeah.
have time. Yeah,
You do
once
it.
I get finished painting the floor in my clinic, oh my God, I wore myself out. And then I remembered my aunt was chainsawing things in her backyard, in her garden. She had this magnificent garden. It was only small, but it was magnificent. She was chainsawing into her late 70s. And I think, I come from a long line of lunatics on both sides. It's fine. I can get down on my knees at 70 and paint my floor. And I have to say, I didn't do a bad job. I still need to touch it up a bit. But my knees were kind of going, why are you making us do this? So it was like it took me a little while and used my acupuncture skills and my moxa to reassure them that I still love them and thanking them for doing the work that they helped me to do.
And
So
also,
yeah,
Qigong would have you on your knees all the time.
Qigong, no, Qigong standing up.
No, Qigong also is kneeling. I do
Really?
Qigong. Yeah, yeah. It has you on your knees. It has really strong poses. In fact, also Pilates this week, my lovely Slovakian Pilates teacher had us on our knees, pressing back with our toes like open.
Oh,
And
I know that one. I know that one. Yikes.
I
Yeah,
did, she
I
said,
have never known a Qigong exercise on your knees, so I stand corrected. I'm not an expert. I have only done a minimal amount, but it's all standing up. I've got a book of exercises for different parts.
yeah, I
They're
promise
all
you,
standing
on your
up. So
knees.
yeah, yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
like having to make yeah, because I was like horrified because I stopped kneeling a long time ago because someone told me it would give me varicose veins.
What?
And I believed that. So I haven't knelt for maybe 30, 40 years. And then I started doing Qigong and they were like, you need to kneel. And I was like, I can't kneel. So I have to kneel. And now every morning I kneel.
Wow. Well,
Interesting. And also squash.
squatting. I like squatting.
I do
Squatting is
that
very
too.
good. Mm,
But the body, those exercises, like what you're talking about, Qigong,
mm,
energy, the body, all that kind of stuff is so important to look after the body as we go through
mm.
the shadow work and not to stuff the body, as tempting as it is, very tempting, with chocolate, Claire, and things you
Yeah.
shouldn't have.
Yes.
A bit,
Well, yeah,
bit of what you like, but
I
it's
think
like
people
it's
need to
this
just
balance of just if you're working
feel
with
in the
trauma,
moment. Is this
look
good?
after
Is it good right now? Not is it good forever or not good forever? Nothing is not good forever, and nothing is good forever.
it's
It's the
eating.
timeliness of things.
Yes,
Mm,
but eating well while you're supporting your body to go through things to help the release is helpful, and also the
mm,
dreams. And don't drink
mm,
alcohol if you can avoid it because it
mm,
will make things worse. But if you can't, like we will ceremonially drink
mm,
tomorrow, but
mm.
only ceremonial drinks.
Yeah, little
So
tiny shot glasses.
yes, someone's
I
bringing some.
Oh, on that subject, a friend of mine posted today about her altar. And I said, I'm going to be doing one tonight. We've got an alleyway gathering where we're going to meet up in the alleyway and share chocolate and
That's,
popcorn
that's
and
amazing.
drinks and other snacks. And we meet once a month. Anyway, this is the last one for the winter. We will have um a mulled wine one around about Christmas,
Solstice.
but I might not be here for that because I'm saving up to go to Thailand.
Of course you are.
I've decided I'm definitely going to go. I have no idea where the money's coming from. And as I keep looking, the prices keep going up and up and up. And I'm just going, it's all right. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. But my daughter's coming this next week to here, so I'm so excited. So yeah, it's she's finally got her ticket, and I'm meeting her in London, and then we're going to do an early birthday thing with my
Beautiful.
granddaughter and her mom and dad and my daughter, and then we're coming up to York on the Saturday. So why did I say all that? I can't recall. Oh, the
Because
altar thing. It might be good to just run through what we're going to do for our altars and see if that's going to be helpful for people. Do you think?
well, it can be. I mean, I have altars all around me all the
Mm,
time.
mm,
What I will be putting out is black candles. So I've got black moon candles. I have pumpkin candles. I have a lot of pumpkin activity going on.
mm.
Um, yeah, I have some beautiful, I've got a beautiful wand, I mean broom that I found that somebody had made out of dried flowers. So I will have that hanging up. It's absolutely stunning. I don't think I can show it to you though. I'll try.
I used to have a besom, but I don't know what happened to it.
I have loads of them. I seem to collect them.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
that is amazing.
I have that, and I have loads of yeah. So I have what I will be putting probably well, I will be putting all my black crystals out.
Mm,
And probably I always feel like at the moment black and white. So I have this on at the moment as well, which is white and grey and
oh, yeah, I
black,
see. Hmm.
so that it's kind of the
Yeah.
both sides. It's like everything. So the grey is spirit, the white is the light, and the black is the release. It's like having
Mm.
it all. And I'm wearing my special guy, my palm stone crystal.
Oh,
Um, Not palm
nice.
stone. I can't remember what it is. It's something. I love him though. He's
Beautiful.
death around my neck.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and for and having a big fire. So fire is incredibly important for release. Because if you give things to the flames, then they alchemize them in a pure form. It's the highest elemental. So
Yeah.
it's cleansing and clearing. But remember, only get rid of what is yours to get rid of and that you're ready to let go of, and don't
Mm,
beat yourself up when it doesn't necessarily go, it comes back in a different form.
hmm.
So on that lovely note,
Yeah. Yeah.
on that lovely note, I have spoken. Have you, June?
I mean, what I'm doing is I'm putting up pictures. I've got an altar in my living room of the ancestors, and my lovely brother has just joined the ancestors. It still kind of baffles me that my younger brother can be an ancestor, but he is now. And they're all on there, and I'm putting mementos on there of them. and things like that, and the candles and and doing a little bit of a ritual that is a mixture of cultures for me, and offering them a bit of like the Buddhists and the Koreans always do an offering of some food to the ancestors. So that's quite nice to do.
And that's why yeah, what we do with sweets and drinks and things like that. Absolutely.
And it's a tradition from here too. It's not just, but it's a global thing, I believe.
Well, you're
I
supposed
don't
to
know
have,
about all the cultures in the world, but I think it's a global one.
it's a death head feast where you write letters to your ancestors, etc. I normally do that, but for some reason, I haven't. This year, everything's a bit upside down. I'm just having to go with that, and that's fine.
Yeah, you can only do as much as you can. And if you're feeling like all these things are attacking you at the moment that need your attention, this is one thing you can do in your mind. You don't
Yes,
need to do all the physical stuff. You can just take a moment, be still, and go, I'm honoring you in the best way I can, given the circumstances.
beautifully put.
Mm, yeah.
Thank you, Jew. So,
Okay.
shall we
That-
end on
That's
that note?
probably enough. Yes.
So, blessed be one and all, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, all being well, if June's around.
I
And
will be. I will be.
fantastic. And it's a read full moon next week.
Yeah, the fifth is the full moon. Sorry, the solar flares, the three eye atlas. I had a major aha moment the other day. The three eye atlas has been going behind the sun, and I've been looking at Stefan Burns, and I added him in, and I just think people should, if they want to understand what's going on in the sky, he's your guy. Although he talks really fast and very scientifically, you can still look at the pictures and go, "Oh, that's really interesting." But the three eye atlas was going behind the sun this last little while. And Wednesday, it just kind of came through the other side. But at the same time, this can't be a coincidence, I thought to myself. The solar flares were all coming out from the sun on that side, not our side. We would have been really lambasted if they'd come this way because they were really high level ones. And I was wondering if that Atlas thing that is maybe not a comet, it's got consciousness, people believe, um, it was maybe gathering some of that energy for its onward journey. Just a thought.
I just got it was protecting us.
Well, yeah, but it maybe needed that energy for itself anyway. Because the things were not coming towards us. They were going that way,
I hear you.
the other
I hear
side.
you.
So, yeah.
Maybe it activated and brought them through the other side. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we are still going to be blasted by whole loads of shocks and revelations and earth shifts and, all of
Well,
that.
all of that stuff in Jamaica and everything, it's,
Oh my God,
still
yeah,
going
the
on.
Caribbean. Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah.
Nowhere
Mm.
safe. This is the human life right now. What could we expect? We're birthing a new creation. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be nice. Lots of eggs are going to get broken, but it will taste nice in the end.
It will make a beautiful omelet.
It will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To be
Mwah.
everyone. We will be in touch. Probably we might even do one next week for the read full moon. We need to discuss that because that's important. But be well.
Okay. Okay. Right.